Welcome back to another episode of Tyranny. As you see, we are back in the spire. I had some look around and as it turns out, we don't need another rubbing of the spire because we have it here. And this, by the looks of it, is what we're supposed to be doing. Looks easy enough, I suppose. Basically a star with another thing inside, so... no... It's going to be this? No, it's not. It might be. The square here in the middle is supposed to light up, I know that for sure. Why doesn't others light up? What?
Just point me in the right
Okay,
direction.
I'm confused now. Let's just go with one of us. Might actually work. Is it... I click 2 and it becomes between them, maybe? This does look like it's getting somewhere at least. This? Shouldn't this be it? Do we click this and then... Nope, wasn't it. God damn it. No, not like that. Can I just turn it off? Right, let's check it properly. So it says definitely the 4 in the middle, and then... Can you keep it there? Nice, looks like it. That one to there, that one to there. This one to there. And to there. That should be the top half. Then we go there to there, there to there, there to there, and there to there. That should be it, shouldn't it? So, and we click this again? No. Are we missing something? Might be the blurred out part, the circle as well. We're gonna try that as well, just to make sure.
On it.
And there. Holy shit, we made it. Sweet. Up we go. I are genius. On top of another spire. Wonder if there's gonna be anything interesting up here, if it's just gonna be the same. There's no Stargate here though. Or I think... The arcane light courses skyward, trailing off toward the horizon in the direction of Verdandrian's well. You feel the ground ripen out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of the spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of the tether you felt on top of Verdandrian's well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. The Sunset Spire in Leafman's Crossing feels unburdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight and longs to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming a link with Vendrian's well, strengthens the very stone beneath your feet. Destruction or weakness you detect vanishes, replaced by confidence that could keep the tower standing for millennia. And tell me where you're writing from. Lantry speaks aloud as he pens a missive, and how to reach you, and I will send you an iron ring for your trouble. He signs his name with a flourish and then tosses the parchment into the wind. In the blink of an eye, the heavy currents carry the slip of parchment eastward. I had this idea of a message in a bottle without the bottle. Maybe it'll work. If I threw a dag from up here, I'd wager I could split a man on the ground in half. Damn, but I wanna try. From here, even the old walls seem paltry. This surveying view is not intended for the likes of us. Barrick shakes his head slowly. The spire feels like a relay between you and the Vendrian's well, bridging some transfers of energy of an enormous scale. You are the first link of chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand this sensation, you grow aware of whispers all around you. Listen closer. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empire alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear those whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops settling on a leaf, then trickling into shared basin. This image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at a true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Where to harness it, you suspect that nothing would stand beyond your reach. Unlocking this spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done, but standing near you warms my rusted plates, makes me feel lighter somehow. Curious. I'm noting something I also observed in Spire of Venue as well. There is a mystical hum, and it has little beats when you walk, tiny fluctuations when you talk. Unless my senses are deceiving me, you and the spire are mystically attuned to each other. Most fascinating indeed. A quill pen appears in his hand, and the old sage begins furiously jotting notes in his arm. On his arm? Didn't you have fucking papers? You look taller somehow, like you could command a dozen gangs without any challengers to knife you in the back. Oh. Is this a different spires? Yeah, it is. Oh. Let's see, what do we want here? Fuck it, let's go for all of them. We can research edicts. Ooh. If you want to build this upgrade and inspire, this action cannot be cancelled. Yeah, I think I saw do 5 days, so it takes a little time for it to be built, which is understandable. Spire unlocked. You have acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This will reduce your travel time. Lovely. You can upgrade spires you discover, building new structures on top of them. Each upgrade provides you with different benefits. Upgrades take time and money to build, and money to maintain. Ugh. If you no longer have the money to maintain an upgrade, it will be suspended. You will no longer receive its benefit until you are able to pay its maintenance cost. There are 5 resources you can find in the carriage tier that can be used to power upgrades and spear. Scrolls, ingots, bronze, ingots, alchemy supplies and hide. Each upgrade uses different resources. No, that's the edict. I don't think we have... No, we can't do any new edicts. Where does this one have new items since last visit? Oh, interesting. A master... The fuck happened? Oh, is this the library? If it isn't the Facebinder, come let us have a word. Greetings, Fatebinder. The sage bows low before you, the quill in his hood brushing the ground. I don't believe we met. Indeed, and I'm afraid I have met you at a disadvantage, he nods. Sage Garrus, formerly of the Vellum Citadel, scribe and researcher extraordinaire, not to bore you with honorifics. When I heard about the library you were building, I just had to come. I watched the workers as they hauled the stone and scrolls up here. There was an awful lot, they just weren't tired. So I did what a little I could to assist. Then, on the last day, as everyone was leaving, I just stayed behind. I definitely don't remember hiring you. Well, if you want to hold strictly to the truth, you didn't, but I never let details like that stop me in the past. Sage Tacitus always encouraged me to show ambition ahead of restraint, and I'm nothing if not a student of good advice. He straightens his posture and clears his throat. With your permission, of course. So you just invited yourself into the mix, Lantry wipes his brow, leaving a sepia streak. Ah, such foolhardy initiative reminds me of a younger me. It's amazing I still have my teeth, considering what a fucking twit I used to be. Oh, who am I kidding? Still am. Farewell. And Ebb is here now. Anyone up here? We can loot something up here though. Scrolls by the looks of it. 5 scrolls. And on the other side, more scrolls. Lovely, I think. I have no idea what we're supposed to use them for. Right, so we completed that quest. Now, Vengeance well. Gotta catch more spires, but I believe for now we will be going to... what's it called? Ironhof. So I will go ahead and fast forward until we get there to skip the loading screens and such. See you soon. Welcome back again to Ironhof. Let's see what the disfavored have for us here, shall we? It's a awkward looking place. Fox-stricken Ovinus. Halfway's dead. Is that a Scarlet? The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Chorus fighter. Consider it? Not for a second. We pick our soldiers from elite northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave. Are you disfavored so narrow-minded? My gang strength deliver us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same. The question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breeding, your training, your prestige. Noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail, Gravenash, Fatebinder. If I might take a moment of your time, what do you need? This person comes representing a Scarlet Chorus gang. What do you call yourself again? The Grinning Bleeders. We have a long time storied reputation in Scarlet Chorus ranks, killers of the highest order. My gang. He puffs his chest with pride. Before I was boss here, I ran with the broken shits, the salty nightmares and the trap gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. You made up at least 2 of those gangs, and don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot, you little pissant. One of the eyebrows snaps up at the attentive. Verse, so kind of you chime out with your correction. In any case, he's asking to join the disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained the numerous reasons why we can't allow it, but the wretch won't listen. Do you want me to decide the matter? You must know Kairos laws back and forth. I trust you know the tradition as well. If you peels the lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it. Speaking for my gang, we'll accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some tearsman's skull with Kairos armor again, no matter what color they wear. Let me take your testimony first. Of course, I have nothing to hide. Why can't you... No, I know, because breed training, blah blah blah. Why did you leave the chorus? Our old gang boss fell at the last battle of Vengeance well. We saw how the Savored operated and realized it was a chance for a better life, a longer one too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Chorus. I can tell you that we won't be missed. What is my help worth to you? We're playing the game, are we? He grins, manage a pocket full of a few handful of rings. Fair trade for starting a new life. Stealing from the boss is a good way to find yourself at the end of a pike. Be prepared to change your name before the end of the war. No deal. Why? I mean, he seems pretty loyal. He doesn't seem like the fucking nutcases the Scarlet have. But he might be a spy. Execution is the only recourse. No better or worse than the scores would have granted him. At least you're consistent. What? Who said was an option on the table? Tunon doesn't tolerate desertion, and neither do I. My thanks, Fatebinder. I'll make sure this dirt is handled appropriately. You have my permission to hunt the rest of the gang as well. To be sure, the officer nods with enthusiasm. One gang cut off from the rest of the mob should make for one easy enough hunt, and my archers are in desperate need of target practice. And off you go. Some salt. What do you have to say? Greetings, Fatebinder. Akalos, 3rd 2nd Legion, the soldier salutes. Glad to see Tuno's agent Grace Ironhalf. Ash's troop has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and Scarlet Chorus Lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment for conversation. You need something from me? Tell me about the Scarlet Chorus Lieutenant. Some of our troops have a little maggot of Scarlet Chorus Lieutenant cornered over at Kado village. From what I'm hearing, it's the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans for the past few weeks. If I wasn't already handling something for Ash, I'd go and skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. I'll handle it. Farewell. And some more looting. That's a pair of boots. Any good, maybe? Nah.
It's something.
Let's check what's there. That's a wand, I think. Seems like it. Foxdrake's is another scarlet. Kind of you to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation and no one in my gang is alive or around to help me out. Stop wasting the Fatebinder's time. He has better things to do than listen to the criminal mewling. I'll judge of that. Tell me of your problem, soldier. Thanks for hearing me out. These favor aren't keen on conversation, otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise. She glares at the captor. Soldiers caught me outside a breach in the old wall. That's it. I wasn't inside, I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold, and I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with self-preservation. Then why are you arrested? You're only hearing one side of the story, Fatebinder. Our scouts observed this wretch readying to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed, her guilt witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. The soldier makes a point of standing extra straight when he addresses you. I'm sorry. Is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could just easily argue that you're readying to get knifed between your shoulder blades. But it doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. I didn't go into old walls. Case closed. I need your mutual cooperation. If you ask me, this prisoner already been tried and sentenced, but if this little game will silence her caterwauling, then be my guest. I'll stand by the decision. It couldn't land me anywhere worse than this. I don't even have to listen, she's gonna fucking die. You're sure about that? Because I have to feel we haven't covered a lot of territory. Fine, we'll be an somewhat honest judge. Did your gang cause the breach? What, are you kidding me? It would either take incredible force or incredible magic to bash through the ancient barrier. We had neither at our disposal. Either one of Kyrie's edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Whatever ruling you make, don't pin me on the... What's your favorable ruling worth to you? I'd love to help you there, but the disfavor took everything I had. Pity, I had a mountain of rings that I would have split. But you can thank our mutual friend over there. She nods at the stone shield. The young lady was captured with some rusted weapons and a pittance of rings. It would hardly call that a mountain. You have your story, I have mine. What were you doing there? My gang won't decide. As I tried to tell the disfavored clods 100 times over, I shouted myself raw trying to get them back, but the gangs wasn't having none of it. I later discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance of finding treasure. Try as I might, I couldn't talk him out of it. Can you speak of this defense? I wasn't there, of course, but I'm familiar with the arrest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make her fortune breaking Karo's law. The scouts could tell just by looking at her she wasn't headed for the breach. She's a fiery one, put up quite a fight when they took her into custody. I have no reason to doubt the charges. I never saw them make it out of Oval, so either they did or they didn't. My money's on the latter. If they made it out, they aren't wasting time breathing trying to find me, so fuck 'em. I'm ready this time. I hope you have everything you need. I don't trust your testimony. I find you guilty. Is this a fucking joke? Because I'm not laughing. When I'm guilty of this other atrocity, it makes no difference. She belongs in chains. I'll just bet you're trying to curry favor with the disfavored. Maybe. And I'm sitting in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, I'm no one's bargain chip, do you hear? Kairos Knuckles, you babble loud enough to topple the spire. Fatebinder, thank you for your time. Barrick's loyalty ability, Iron Storm. What's Iron Storm? Sword and javelin emerge from the Barrick's armor and fly into a cloud of iron above the Fatebinder. These weapons begin to rain down in a storm around the Fatebinder, damaging enemies. Sounds pretty awesome.
Good thing I keep a torsion
Oh, that's a lot of food. Thank you. Can we sleep her? I think we can. We don't need to though. We'll go in there, check later. Just wanna see if there's anything interesting up here. What do we have here? Some gems, thank you, Wars. No, you're not, you old fat fuck. Osmia. You must be the Fatebinder of Tunon, the disfavored Aeon Walker bows. Welcome to Ironhalf. I'm sure that Graven Ash appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances have a way of coming together so that the disfavored always stretch thinner than we like. What can I do for you? Why are we so overworked? She rubs her palms together and frowns. We're trying to shoulder the burnt of this civil war without the strength of numbers. The Scarlet Chorus can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without second thought, but we're forced to be a little more discriminating. We might be trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued even by the high standards we set for ourselves. She studies you in a cautious manner. Not that I need to burden an agent of the court with my misgivings. Once the war is over and the tears properly subdued, my hope is that Kairos dispatches some relief troops to support the occupation. We all deserve some season of rest. The court is always receptive to the needs of soldiers. Your point is noted. That's very generous of you to say, Fightbender. I'm grateful to know someone is listening. A nervous smile brightens her expression. Where were you during the conquest? After the Edict of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging up survivors from the Legion. Afraid I didn't find much. She glances up at Barrick. You must have moved on by then, or else you would have assembled a team to excavate you. My prison moved with me. There was no reason to tarry. He bows his head respectfully. I still think of brothers and sisters we left behind. Sometimes I can imagine that I hear their voices carry on in the wind. I'll be on my way. Quartermaster, you can sell shit, yes? Even though you're not fully fledged disfavored recruit, I've been authorized to grant you purchasing right from our store, with certain limits, of course. Would you like to see? Yes. Let's not sell those shrooms. Pretty sure they are resurrecting shrooms. Not that I've had to use them or even see if they work, but I'm gonna go ahead and hope that they work. Whetstones. Let's see if there's anything we can buy. Binding Oath. That's a throwing weapon. We can't afford it, however. Now we can. It has Martyr. Heal nearby allies when defeated. Well, that's helpful, I guess. If I get killed, I heal friends. I think he uses throwing weapons, doesn't he? He does. That one gives, the one he uses gives Sigil of Life though, which makes control life better, and he is the healer. Yeah, he can keep the quill. And then we take a check in here, another pair of boots, and there, and we get another potion. Now let's go into the center area and see if Graven Ash is around here, or someone else of interest. And there we have him, the big bear himself. Fatebinder, no one in recent history has reached the pinnacle of a spire, and yet you step to the top as if they were intended for your occupation. What do you have to say for yourself? They offer a certain strategic advantage. So you only regard them as tactical bastions? Perhaps that is best. Whatever power raise the spires and hold them aloof, better that you not let it preoccupy your efforts. What is it you require? How can I continue my service? These are troubled times for all, but none more so than the forces of Kairos. Our organized defense has splintered, loyalties are challenged at every level of command, and much that we have built during the conquest crumbles under its own weight. We had thought that Meridian Guard were the final death rattle of this region's defiance. We were wrong. The tears have risen up against Kairos, emboldened by the countrymen. And while the disfavored labor to maintain order, the serpent, the voice of Nerat, grows his army of lunatics and sellswords, preparing to lash out when we least expect it. I can only imagine that the voice is driving these gangs mad with plots to storm this fortress. There can be no peace while the voice of Nerat lives, and no order while the Scarlet Chorus rampage across these lands. The elimination of chaos must be our first priority, then we will have our time to govern the tears of Kairos intended. Can I depend upon your support? What would you have me do? Our position of authority in the Blade Grave is far from secure. We need to establish ourselves in the region in order to cultivate our strength for the battle to come. As soon as I am confident in our chances, we will depart this realm and wipe the Chorus threat from the face of Tyranny. The Unbroken, former daughters and sons of Stalwart, vex our effort to secure this region. The Edict of Storm offers them cover. We slip past our patrols in the light of day, hiding their movements behind clouds of dust and debris. Kairos cast his blight on the country to set an example, not to plague those of us loyal to the north. You must travel to Sentinel Stand and seek out Staridas Herodin. He is the last of the old Stalwart bloodline who call themselves regents. Put him to the sword and end this edict once and for all. Why is this so important? You should know that better than anyone. Did you not proclaim Kairos' will upon the Oh yeah, we did that. He would neither surrender nor impel his soldiers to do so. As such, Kairos decreed that storms would ravage this country until the regent was dead. Styrus Herodin was free to kill himself, of course, but is either too proud or too gutless for the task. Consider him dead. Find the lost regent, kill him, end this edict of storms, and staunch the seeping wound that rebellion once for all. The downfall of the Unbroken and the old regent will send a message throughout the tiers. Our rule is absolute, and dissidents will not be tolerated. Consider it done. There is one final matter to discuss. My daughter went missing in the second year of the conquest. I have reason to believe she is trapped in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. If you can find Amelia, bring her home to me. What makes you think she's still alive? We have traveled together through the fallen, corrupted land. You're no doubt aware of the aegis I extended to my troops. Gravenash asking of what is capable of shielding a soldier from injury and fatigue. This protective influence exerts itself even from far away as he sleeps. If he sleeps, rumors disagree. Few understand how this arcane power works, but all who have faced the disfavored in battle will attest that Ash's soldiers can survive serious harm and shrug off the fatigue of starvation. It is the boon I grant my Northrends for loyal service and devotion to our shared cause. As my Oris feels my guardianship, I am keenly aware of them theirs in return. Their concern, their pain, it is my burden to carry as their leader. Amelia is alive. I have woken at night in cold sweats, my bile rising with violence. What torment she suffers at the hands of those stalwart animals is a mystery. I only want her restored to healing company of the Legion. If I find her, I'll ensure a safe return. That is all I ask. Amelia is but one soldier, yet if I had a force to dispatch, I would make her retrieval my highest priority. She is a commander of the highest renown and a paragon of northern values. Fatebinder, I offer you support on this mission. The blade gives a place of memory. I left many cohorts buried among these ruins and no small part of it myself as well. Could you elaborate? The matter is a sensitive one, but I fear to speak in the company of the great general, though he doubtless known it already. Barracks attempts to stand tall before Gravenash. Speak on, son of Barikonen. Nothing I've seen you accomplish in the field has diminished you in my eyes, and I know my soul as well to know myself. He nods with approval. I lost countrymen by the hundreds in the last day of the Stalwart campaign, and for my troubles I became fused in this armor. The blade claim is the last place I ever felt human. That is all I will have to say about now. The last battle of Star was a terrible time, perhaps most of all for you who survived. I mourn those we lost and recite the names often during the morning drills. We cannot restore their broken bodies to the north, but we can remember them as they were. Is that all? Your manner has changed. Barrick stands straighter, and for the moment you can't tell if he's going to lash out or crumple into himself. You're prepared for anything. After a long pause, his shoulders sagged slightly his best. My cohort marched on Sentinel Stand to complete a mission. We failed. The walls of the keep defiled us, and the last regent of Starwood refused to meet us in battle. The coming of Kairos Edict cut us off from our objective. Because of this, the Bladegrave is also a place of regret. You have much invested in the mission. Of course you can accompany me. I appreciate that, Fatebinder. Gravenash is attentive and understanding to each of his troops, and it pleases me to see an example in you. And in you, Armored One. Never forget that I found you at the mere germination of your potential, and you have accomplished much in your ensuring years. Thank you. Thank you, General. Though it's impossible to tell through his helmet, you assume the barrack is blushing. Your map is already marked with the position of Sentinel Stand. It would take me 100 lifetimes to forget those old walls, or the day the edict shattered at the advance. Let's be off then. Anything interesting else here? Barrels with water. And I believe that's it in this place. Alright, we will be leaving Ironhearth and proceed to the keeps. Either to Stalwart or Sentinel Keep, I think it said. Either way, we will be doing that in the next episode. I will see you guys then. Bye bye.